Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyper Roll with Artark, and another game where I have to cut the sound out, except for the beginning that I stole from another video, because this is one that we did live, but people requested, please make a video out of this, because it was a really insane game. But let's start with the graphic. You know the drill: like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that help the YouTube algorithm. Lives are on the weekend, noon Pacific time. So if you want to see stuff like this happen, yeah, that's when. Now, let's get started. So I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to go for this build. I got prismatic augments, decided to go ahead and roll it, and then see what I could get. Hopefully new recruit or something like that. Or golden ticket. And once I saw golden ticket, I made up my mind I was going to do my favorite build, or the Zac Pack. If you don't like the name, let me know. I'm totally subject to change on it. But the core concept of the build is get all the supers, all the mascots, and the Riftwalkers, and have them all work together in one giant healing destructive mess. Now, of course, what Golden Ticket's going to do for me is allow me to just roll like crazy, which means I have a really good chance of getting 3-star champs, and 3-star champs are going to lead to more power, and more power is going to lead to more rolling, which is going to lead to more 3-star champs. So yeah, this is one of those that can snowball. The most important thing to remember about this build is that it is a long play build. Do not necessarily expect to win early. We won the last round because that person had disconnected because a Riot's client is still messed up, but you're going to struggle for a little while as you build up. It's time for the second augment, and if I get a chance in this build to grab a Mascot Crest, I go ahead and do it. And the reason is, if you don't, you're not going to get to 6 until the very end once you get Nunu. This is going to give you some freedom. It's going to allow you to get to 6 before stage 9, so you're not going to necessarily slide down as far as you otherwise would have. Item-wise, I am thinking of 3 things. 1, I want to create a super tank, which is going to be the mascot champion I think is going to be able to get up to 3 stars. Then you're going to need some Vex items like blue buff, Rabadon's death cap, stuff like that, and then your Jhin items, Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, Deathblade, anything to increase his attack damage. That's what you'll need by the end of the game. I found one of the more difficult parts about this build is staying patient and staying committed. It will ultimately work out if you stick with it and have the right elements. In this case, because I have Golden Ticket, because I have the mascot emblem, I'm fairly confident that even though it doesn't look good right now and we're towards the bottom of the health chart, that it can turn around just with the right couple of rolls. Getting Jhin is often the key to turning things around, so we get him in and itemize him. The only problem is we've run into a team that's running a very similar build with mascots, and they have a lot of the champs that we really want in order to get up to 3 stars. And you're not going to start getting the bonuses from the supers until you get to 3 stars, which is key for this build, so we're in a little bit of a desperate situation now. But it is now time for the final augment, and we get the 4 cost ones, which means if we roll, we should be able to get the rule of 4, which is the Jhin augment that will give you additional gold for every 4 of his takedowns. We can also pick up items so we can start giving Vex some power. Thank you, Golden Ticket. We are able to roll enough that we can keep picking up additional champions, and we now have a 2-star Vex, which is going to give us a good chance. Now, we have very quickly picked up a second 2-star Jhin, and remember, every 4 takedowns he gets, we're going to get some additional gold. So there is lots of gold hanging out there for us right now. But we're really low and facing really tough teams like an Infiniteam Sure Shot, who knocks us down to 2 health. And we desperately need to 3-star these champs, and luckily, thanks to Golden Ticket, just before we go into the next round, we manage to 3-star the Pyke, which gives us 2 things. First, it gives us more power on our supers, so we get 3% bonus damage. Second, it makes Zac stronger because Zac gets his star level from the star level of the Riftwalker champions. So stronger Zac and stronger champions. And we have some critical item choices coming up. Nothing really thrilling here. I can get the Titan's Resolve and put that on Pyke so he can get stronger throughout the match. The Giant Slayer is an easy pickup for Jhin. And this is a do or die moment for this team. I'm rolling on the bottom, and as you can see, I've now found the 9th Jhin, which means I can get a gold 3-star Jhin if I win this round. Luckily, we found Nunu before, so we're now up to the 6 Mascots, which gives us a lot of healing, so their Aurelian Soul isn't able to knock us out, and we end up getting the gold 3-star Jhin. And we can see what type of havoc this can bring down on the Rift. And gold 3-star Jhin might be one of the nastiest champions I have seen, as he just shreds teams straight across the board. And we're just going to get gold on top of gold, and he destroys the damage charts. It's time for our final 2 item choices, and I really want Vex items, but I will take a Dragon's Claw for the Yeti that also has reached 2 stars thanks to Golden Ticket. And because we got the Mascot emblem, we were able to take out Nasus and bring in a Fiddlesticks, Jeweled Gauntlet for Vex, and we now have some power coming from both sides of the board. And this is a team that shredded through us before, but as you will see, Jhin is ridiculous. Everything he hits just dies as if he's an ace, and we're getting tons of gold for it, but look at the damage, over 18,000. And with that victory, we are into the top 4. We are keeping Fiddlesticks in front of Jhin just in case anything breaks through the front line and gets down here, but I'm not really too concerned about it because we are shredding things. And even though I brought in Fiddlesticks for protection, it's like it doesn't even matter. Here he gets Zephyr'd, but nothing's going to do enough damage for him to trigger him to jump out because he's healing back before he can hit the thresholds. And Jhin is wiping anything out that even thinks about doing that type of damage to him. And yeah, another 18,000 plus damage. And we did manage to 3-star the Vex, and I wanted the gold Nunu so bad, but this person had a Nunu on the board and one on the bench, which meant I had no chance of 3-starring the Nunu. Ultimately, though, it doesn't really matter. Jhin is the star of this show, and as you can see, even though Fiddle gets triggered this time, Jhin just wipes everything out, and it's GG to everyone. I hope you enjoyed this crazy game. If you want to see more like it, stop by the lives noon on weekends, and as always, have an absolutely awesome day.